Yeah. Do you think that it was just going to some moments, and we're talking about Manchester United as well? Was that a handball from Bella Kotcher when Rashford sent the ball in, Shaka, in the 43rd minute? Or do you think they were right to not give that?
I thought that quite easily could have been handball.
That's
I give Bella Kotcher benefit of the doubt in seeing that he slipped, but it does strike his arm fully. The fact that Wout Weghorst is standing right there as well, I think it has significant and meaningful impact in the game. I think it's one of them that if the referee gives it, I'm not sure that VAR overturns it. I'm a little bit on the fence. I wouldn't say it was 100% a penalty. I'll give it 60-40, 65-35 as it being a penalty. So it came down to referees and VAR's interpretation. I would have lent the other way though.
Yeah, it's a pen. It's a pen to me. It's a pen because what happens is it's not like he had his arm down and the ball just accidentally hit it. He actually, part of the action of what he was doing, even on the ground, was moving his hand to protect the ball. That's a penalty. To me, it's a penalty straight away. So I would go 100% it's a penalty, but it wasn't given, and there you have it. Just one quick on Ruben Sayers, the 39-year-old manager of Southampton, by the way. Tremendous job. I know that they were playing 10 men Manchester United, but I think he has a very difficult job in hand, and he's doing quite a good one.
Yeah, and obviously,
if I can just add, Kay, I thought discussing penalties. I'm not sure if you were going to bring this up. I thought Bazunu on Rashford. I thought that was also a penalty.
Yeah.
I think what saved Bazunu here is the limitations of the technology. In that, I don't think it was that clear or obvious a touch or clip on Rashford's ankle. I think there was a touch, but that's judging from Rashford's own actions. And then because even as we watch the replay, and I'm going to assume that the VAR would have the same footage that we did, it was hard to tell whether there was a touch. It was hard to tell that there was a definitive touch, and I think that's just the limitations of the technology. But just going on Rashford's own actions, how his feet got in a tangle, I thought there was a touch. I thought there was a touch that also could have been given. Again, I'm not sure that the evidence or any other evidence backs that up. But I was sitting here looking at that and thinking, man, this could have gone a different way.
Yeah, and Walker Peters on Bruno Fernandes in the box just before that handball decision as well.
No, it wasn't. That one wasn't.
There's a few claims, let's say, that they could have had.
That was a weak.
No. Okay, question, guys. I'll ask you both. I'll start with you, LME. Is being in multiple competitions going to be an issue with Manchester United's lack of squad depth?
Yeah, I mean, we just said it. Casemiro's absence worries me a little bit. I just think, listen, it's that, but it's also the manager that they have requires a system that needs you to not just be present for 90 minutes, but really be aggressive off the ball and counter with high speed. When you have a congested schedule, the likes of you delivering that system consistently day in and day out becomes a problem. So I think that given all the competitions that they're in, right, it becomes an issue for them. But, that's the way Ten Hag is pretty much voicing his message to the entire squad, saying, look, we're in everything right now. Let's go for everything. We already have one trophy. Let's keep going. But I think that it becomes an issue in the marathon-esque requirements of the Premier League when you have that kind of a system. And now with Casemiro's absence, et cetera, et cetera. But, Erik Ten Hag is a tremendous coach. And I think that one of the things that he does really well is understand the minutes in which he wants to use certain players, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully they'll be okay.
Shaka?
Yeah, it certainly can be. I think as games go by and you see results as we've had over this weekend with both Arsenal and Manchester City winning, Manchester United dropping points, the discussion that we were having, maybe 2 weeks ago about Manchester United and their chances of winning the Premier League, I don't think we'll have that discussion anymore. So now, as far as Man U goes, it's of the other two trophies, which can they win, if not both? And I think that becomes Ten Hag's focus, the cups, both the Europa League and the FA Cup. So you will understand that if, as a season ticks by, he starts making changes in the league. The exact opposite of what I was saying earlier about Miguel Arteta. And he starts rotating his squad a little bit for the league. Because listen, you don't get silverware for finishing third as opposed to fourth. The rewards are pretty much the same, though just professionally speaking, it feels a whole lot worse if you are in this strong a position at this stage of the season in third place and you settle for fourth, because it still brings you Champions League football. You want to finish as high up the table as you possibly can. So I understand that. But from a squad management perspective, you totally understand if Ten Hag has the inverse approach to Mikel Arteta.
By the way, United has 11 games left in the Premier League, and then they obviously have the Europa League. Then, depending how far they go into the FA Cup, you're looking at close to 20 matches left for Manchester United. And, that's going to be a bit of a homework for them.
Yeah, and obviously they did have those 4 goals against Real Betis on Thursday, but that's back-to-back Premier League games with no goal scored from Manchester United. I'm sure it's something we'll discuss on the next edition of PL Express that's coming up tomorrow.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.